What's going on YouTube? It is Luke Waters back again with another video, and today I'm going to talk about the common issues that come in the Caprice Ppv. Now this video was requested. I bought the car 3 years ago and a lot has changed with it since then, so it kind of took me a minute to really remember what the problems were with it when I first bought it. I kind of made a video similar to that. I'll link that in the description or put a picture of it up here somewhere where I talked about the top 5 things I love and hate about my Caprice. That'll kind of stem off the video more towards the problems with it when I first bought it. Starting out, obviously this is the most common issue with every single Caprice actually in the country, is the radio. So the radio, like I said, the volume knob does not work the way it's supposed to. When you turn it, it'll sometimes turn the volume way up or way down. It doesn't really work the way it's supposed to. You can put some kind of electrical cleaner in it and hopefully that works, but with mine it did not work, so it's kind of faulty. There is a fix. You need to get a new radio and that is insanely expensive, so I just had to deal with it. And you can use the steering wheel controls. It works the exact same as it should from factory. It doesn't like mess with it at all, so just use the steering wheel control and your radio is basically fine. Another common problem with Caprices that you see a lot is the electrical. Now when I bought mine as well, the horn did not work. I had to go underneath the dash, look for the wiring for the horn, rewire it together, and then I had a horn that works. And it's still kind of quiet. I don't know why my horn is so quiet. I need to figure out what's going on with it. Maybe it's going bad. Maybe they took one out. I don't know. But on the forums, you will see a lot of people having issues. Like I said, the guy who requested this video, I think he was having a brake light issue. And like I said, when they take these things out of service, they don't give a what they do with these things. They literally will take a Sawzall and just rip everything apart that's police related because they're just gonna try to send it to auction, just get whatever money out of it that they can. So keep in mind, when you're looking for a Caprice, make sure when you buy it, make sure the horn works, the radio, the AC, make sure everything electrical in the car works the way it's supposed to. And sometimes when they're ripping out all that cop stuff, they may accidentally rip a wire out from like the brake lights or the turn signals because all that's connected, so be very careful of that. Make sure you get a buddy out and check it. Make sure everything works before you buy it. Another major problem with these Caprices is the suspension. So I'm gonna use my G8 as an example to show you what I'm talking about, but it's literally the exact same thing. These strut mounts right here are absolute trash. Like they just like to go out, they like to be blown. So that's something you definitely wanna look at before you buy one. Make sure these aren't blown out. So the way you can tell, obviously the car's jacked up so it's hard to tell, but there'll be a little gap down here, a 1/4 inch gap between that gasket. That's good. Anything bigger than that is bad. You don't want anything to do with it. Just don't even bother. Unless you're willing to pay for new suspension, you're getting it for cheap. Just double check that suspension. Make sure it's tight, make sure it's secure because it's gonna cost you a lot of money up front to get fixed. Another issue with these cars is the TPMS sensors. Now that's with all Holdens, and it seems to be Chevys in general have a big problem with their TPMS sensors like to take a poop. Basically what happens is there's a tire pressure monitoring system in every single tire, and what happens is when one goes out, it'll leave a dinging light on your dash that never goes away. And on the Caprice, ingeniously enough, they set I think the stock tire pressure in the PCM is set to like 44 or something like that. So when you put an aftermarket wheel and tire on your car that does not need to be aired up that high, guess what? Your TPMS light's gonna be on all the time. They should have made these cars from factory relearnable and adjustable, so that way when you want to switch wheels and tires, you don't have to keep relearning everything. And I believe you have to tap into the BCM in order to get rid of it, which is pretty expensive, which can be done with like HP tuners, but get ready to be spending a lot of extra money on credits to get that done. I think there's a way to tune it out. I could be wrong, but yeah, it's annoying to always see that light on. It always shows like your TPMS light's on and how your tires are low. It's kind of annoying, but I've gotten so used to it, I don't even notice it anymore. Obviously, the king of all things that are issues with this car is the DoD failures, which is why I'm swapping cams on this here G8. So, displacement on demand is active fuel management introduced by GM. What they did was they made it so 4 cylinders shut down while you're on the highway to help save gas money. It didn't work the way they wanted it to at all, and it basically backfired. And what happens is your lifter just takes a crap, wipes out the cam, and then you have a massive problem on your hands that costs a lot of money to fix, especially if you're not doing the work yourself. And with the G8, I'm doing a budget cam swap, which I'll be doing a big detailed video on that coming up soon, so stay tuned. I want to get it running first. If you ever have an opportunity to swap out the cams, even if you're going from a stock cam, just to get rid of the DoD, just do it. That way it's peace of mind, you don't have to worry about it anymore. They say regular maintenance or tuning it out helps. No, it's completely random. If it's gonna poop out, it's gonna poop out. More than likely, if you have about 100,000 miles, I would say you're safe. But if you buy one that's very low miles, just be very cautious of that. I don't know what GM was smoking when they decided to put that in their cars, but it did not. No, you don't put things that help the environment in a performance V8. They don't work together. But other than that, they're just really stout and strong cars as they are. They're great performance cars. They're great handling cars. amazing daily drivers. And there's not really a bunch of issues that come from the factory with them. There's not. They're just a well-built car. They may not be the fastest on the road, but they're just very reliable and they get the job done. I mean, it had to be. Police were using these to catch bad guys, so that obviously had to be a well-built car from the factory. And there's just not a whole lot of issues with them. But like the small ones, like the radio one's really annoying. That there should be no excuse to why the radio does not function. Like, I have a car from the 90s, a GM 90s car, and the radio functions just fine. Why is mine having issues? Why do they all have issues? You know, that's something that I think is a big undercut from GM and something that they knew was a problem and didn't decide to fix, and they just didn't care. I mean, obviously it was a police car, so they probably weren't going to put too much effort into it. But still, to me, that's kind of unacceptable. Why would you ship out a car with a radio that doesn't work properly? I don't know. I think that's my biggest pet peeve of the entire car was the radio. I don't understand. Whatever. All the other stuff is basically human error, like the horn not working, that was human error. Some people have it a lot worse. Some people don't have horns. Some people don't have headlights. Some people don't have taillights. Some people don't have turn signals. There's a lot worse it could have been versus a horn. It was pretty easy to fix, but still, like, kind of annoying that when you buy one of these cars, you may have to look into the electrical to make sure everything's okay. So yeah, it's gonna wrap up this video. Not really a whole lot going on today. I was gonna work on the G8 some more, but I'm waiting on some more parts. Like I said, with Christmas coming up, it's hard to buy car parts, guys. I'm trying to do what I can to keep content coming. So if you guys enjoyed this video, or if you have any recommendations for other videos in the future, leave them down in the comment sections down below. It has been Luke Waters, and I'll see you guys in the next video.